So here on the Damage Report, I try to do my best to make sure that the information I provide, especially regarding politics and what's going on in America and around the world, is as accurate as I can possibly make it. But I acknowledge openly, it's not hidden, that I approach politics from a leftist point of view. So bear in mind that that bias potentially exists. But if you're looking for accurate information, we're not the only source for it. There are others who attempt to make sure that as many Americans as possible know true, verified, accurate information about the election. One source for that is Politiscope, and we are very lucky to be joined once again on the show by the co-founder and editor-in-chief of Politiscope, Jackson White.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
How's it going? It's good to see you. It's been a bit. I don't think we've spoken since the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, I think it was last time I was on was in February, and I was actually out there in California for the main show. But like you said, everything just kind of went down the drain, and everybody's been in the same boat. So yeah, I'm out here in New Jersey. We're both in hard hit areas, and I'm just doing my best to keep pushing forward and keep the faith alive. So that's where I'm at.
Good to hear that you've weathered it well. So we're going to be talking about Politiscope, about misinformation, about the election. For people who might not be familiar with the app, could you give people a basic idea of what it's intended to accomplish?
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, Politiscope is just an easier way to keep up with politics generally. And really, what we do is we aim to provide nonpartisan information by allowing people to keep up with policy. There's a lot of stories that go around, especially in mainstream media. A lot of that really is just opinion hosts who are either very, very pro-Republican like Fox News, or maybe you have like your MSNBC who just really, really vouch for the corporate Democrats. And so what Politiscope aims to do is cut through the middle of that and focus on policy so that people can know exactly what's going on and really focus on the data. And also you can follow campaigns on Politiscope. You can donate to any candidate of your choice if they're running for the House or the Senate. You can see who's in office, what they voted for and against, with brief, comprehensive breakdowns of legislation that's been in Congress for anybody who's in office, register to vote. So pretty much just general political engagement. We really aim to make that just more accessible and more attractive, and really just more modern, for how millennials and Gen Z keep up with information today.
It's been interesting that throughout 2020, which has been just the worst, we have so many big things that are happening that I automatically want to know how it's impacted what's going on with Politiscope and how you approach these things. We have the pandemic, which is this huge thing that people are having to think about every day, and in fact, a lot of them have had to stay home, so they've had a lot of time to be thinking about politics and looking for information. You've got the protests that have been going on, which there's been a lot of attempts to define what those are about by different ends of the political spectrum. And you also have the background of first the primaries, but now the elections. So what's it been like at Politiscope with so many of these massive things, and potentially a user base of people who have even more time than usual to be using something like Politiscope?
Well, we've definitely seen our daily usage go up. We're a couple years in, so we haven't been around for a very long time, but we've definitely seen our engagement go up. And one thing, like how you said with the elections coming up, what's going on with the post office and people's concerns about mail-in voting. Really, what our approach has been is to help people really, really connect to the voting process. Really, really connect to what they're voting for, who they're voting for, and focus mostly on how we can make that easy, because there's a lot of jargon on both sides about what you can and can't do. So, simply put, we just want to make it easier. So, when Bernie Sanders was running, when Pete Buttigieg and everybody was still in the race and everything like that, that kind of ended. But really, really just focusing on what's he running for. And I think that in times like these for Politiscope, TYT, and anybody in politics, I think that now is really, really important for us to, double down and really give more and really, really focus on what matters. So, simply put, our usership has gone up, our daily active usage has gone up, and we're just aiming to help people know how they can stay safe, how they can mail in, what the rules in all 50 states are, because there's different rules for when you can send ballots in, if you can make excuses for why you're sending a ballot in. And so every day, as a chief editor, what I really aim to do is just allow people to know how they can safely vote, because there's a lot of worry, and especially older people, because those are the people who vote the most. There's a lot of worry about, COVID. So, we really want people to tap into the information that's already out there.
I think that might be one of the most important things that you can do, especially considering that, as you say, the situation for requesting a mail-in ballot is very different from state to state, what excuses are allowed, what the dates are. And there's so much attempted misinformation about the entire process that it seems like one of the most important possible things going on right now is making sure that people know all of the rules for being able to vote. So thank you for focusing on that. It seems pretty important considering how important this election is.
Yeah, and nobody really nobody saw this coming. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what a crazy year 2020 has been. You know what I'm saying? Like literally from the very beginning of it, it's just really been a crazy roller coaster. So, and I think one of the things that I've really been grateful for is, just being able to know that, okay, we're really making a difference. We're really doing something important. And I'm glad that we started a few years ago so that we could, kind of set our infrastructure, get our foundation, and it's just really been a great ride.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.